So thank you, volunteers, and thank you, the attendees and the participants. At this stage, I would like to request our co-chair of this conference, Mr. Abu Daud Khan, to deliver his speech on this conference and tell something about us. Thank you.
Good evening. Assalamu alaikum shabaike. After this speech of academician, is very tough for me as a practitioner to go for a detailed speech. So I'll not go in that direction. And that was not objective when we started this discussion with Kamal sir, Selim sir, a few years back, prior to COVID, basically. So as there are a lot of other audience here sitting physically present and online, like to share a few things about En route. We are a consulting firm. We are doing a lot of activity, but mostly focusing on the area of HR. So human resource development, and this is our kind of a core area. And apart from that, all our, me personally and all our shareholders were used to work for various multinationals. So kind of we were practicing this thing for quite long. And probably that's one of the reason that we try to understand or get this urge that the way the country is developing and the way the urbanization is happening, I see a kind of a struggle in corporate area. We were lucky to work for a few very renowned multinationals where these practices are there. But if you consider the local organizations or kind of the industry which employing the highest number of workers, which is garments, we see the lot of chaos in terms of employee relations and other things. And there is a strike, there is a, so I was always struggling that why it will be something like that, why you can't do something to solve this problem. So that's a very one part. And this another part is that globally, as we are involved with multinational organizations and we are having some experience of having some good university in our career. So we have seen that they are going really deep when it's in terms of not only employee behavior, how a person behaves in a system. So that's also very interesting that one's behavior is not only his personal thing, is also the system and the role he's taking. So we were struggling that this kind of a discussion is very uncommon and rare in Bangladesh, in common space, that why people are behaving some way. And if we see that from when we started consulting business, we are claiming ourselves consultants. So I feel that need of connecting academia because what I have learned, I learned from experience. And so I feel that need that I should be connected with academia to see that whether there is a research or not. So that's one part. The second challenge was, as I mentioned, several times I discussed this thing with Kamal sir and Selim sir, that the knowledge we are having regarding organizational behavior and other things is mostly from the knowledge we acquire from Western. And we know that there is a cultural context, and which is very important. It's a kind of a, I should not say there is nothing there, but there is a huge opportunity of localizing this international knowledge. So with this thing in mind, I try to connect the academia because we are doing recruitment for others. So we are doing recruitment for our organization, but we are also doing recruitment for others. And this is really a struggling area that how to recruit the best people for the best role. Then we do a lot of training in our organization. We provide training for the corporates, we provide training for other organizations also. There also we find that the kind of a knowledge we are doing, basically, we have some experience and we just try to that experience and fine tune and kind of a deliver. But when I saying something that, okay, do this kind of behavior or, do this thing, do that thing, sometimes even I'm asking question myself that I'm sure, are you sure? Is there any research? Is it backed up by facts and figure? Or you just, there are some, this pseudoscience kind of activity going on. You see something in the Facebook, you learn something from other organization and you try to implement that thing. And that's also, I see that's a really big problem. If everybody's talking from the experience, I do respect that experience brings some value, but it needs to be validated by research and academicians. So keeping that thing in mind, we try to do this thing. I did my MBA from IBA, so you understand that I'm having that background, and kind of a organization, the way the organization is growing, and we are getting a lot of DBS and MBS. With due respect with that, that was their objective, to provide managers who can run the show, but it was not objective to go in very deep. So that's also a challenge. That's the place where the psychology department can come in. This is up to me. That's how you can bring the very specialized knowledge into the system. We are talking about motivational speakers and other things, but there is a very specific domain that how to do motivational interview. So this thing is required in our organization. And at the same time, we see that the kind of point I was discussing, and Tanvi sir also mentioned, that we are having agricultural society. So we carry that history. This is my observation, that even in a group, we can't behave because we are used to it, a very small group where we know each other, and we are having expectation that what my uncle will behave, what my aunt will behave. But when we're coming to an organization, everybody is unknown. And this unknown create anxiety and stretch. And then people start behaving very differently, very weirdly in some cases. But probably they are not bad guy, or they are not, that immoral, but we are seeing that thing. So these are the kind of a reason that as an organization, we felt that, okay, as we are providing this service to the organization, we should also enhance our capability with the help of the academia. And I really appreciate, because I have taken a few attempts, but somehow it didn't click. But from 2019, probably I start. So me personally visited one day Dhaka University Psychology Department and said, okay, I need help. And somehow my contact person give a contact details of Selim sir. I went to him, discussed, and then we try to figure out. And we did our first psychology conference last year. I really appreciate Dhaka University Psychology Department, Jagadhan University, Chittagong, Rajshahi, everybody participated. So that was a challenge for me. I was kind of what should I say? I was kind of also observing me, that how I am behaving in this collaboration, because there's a lot of confusion whether the university will agree, whether they will be interested. What about the corporate? Because my intention was to bring corporate and government, and even I invited Bangladesh Army, because they are doing this recruitment and they are also doing a lot of leadership courses. So they need also this kind of a thing. So I try to invite everybody and see that how it evolved. And we also trying to testing our ability as an organization, in whether we have the capacity to run this kind of a conference or not. So far, so good. We did, I should say, fantastic compared to this last one. This one, it really get a kind of a international shape because we are having participants from Philippines, from Indonesia, from Malaysia, from India, obviously, and from various other countries. They are attendees. It's not a panelist we have requested or something like that. So that gives a flavor that it went that level. We try to bring really good practitioners from the industry who are very renowned. Say some of them joined from Canada. They are in a leave. He's the head of HR of Ruby, but he participated from a very odd timing, because we understand Canada and Bangladesh timing differences. Two panelists joined from UK, and they are both seasoned corporate practitioners. So, and then we are having academician that's Selim Bhai brought. So that's and there was a good session. So I like to say that there are a lot of room for improvement, but and probably compared to last one, this time we try to bring one physical presence. It was planned for whole day, but due to COVID, we have to change our plan frequently. And one moment, even today's evening, was in question mark that whether we'll be able to do it or not. So that's why we feel as an Endud that with the objective to bringing academia and corporate in a platform, that was one of our objective. So I think we were able to bring at least made some crack in the space, and hopefully with others' help from Dhaka University and from other corporates, we will be able to make it take it to the next stage and try to create some impactful event, like as Sir mentioned, that can we create a psychometric test for our country? Can we do a coaching? Last few months back, we did a seminar for how to do coaching for women. because coaching is a kind of a things. It can help women to break the barrier and go into the next level. It's not only we are seeing that women are coming into the job market, but still they need to go. When it comes to career, it becomes even tougher. Little bit getting entry is a little bit easier compared to, but if they want to build a career within the organization, which is very competitive and going to be competitive, so that's require a special kind of attention. So in last Women's Day, we organized a session where Madam was there, and she was even in our last session. So one of our, I should say, the support, without her support, it was not possible. So like coaching is getting a very big. So we also work there, and where also psychology department can fit in. So I'm very, me personally, and from Enroute, we are very happy, and we like to share our gratitude to the speaker, panelists, and participants, and particularly Dhaka University and other university psychology department who were participating in these events. So with these things, I like to once again thank you. See you next time.